Hey guys, welcome into the show. My name's Susan Thomas. Glad to be here with you guys today. I was thinking I'd like to show you this because this is done with the nuggets. And I know a lot of you guys have the nuggets at home. And I know a lot of you guys have these silicone sliders. And I know a lot of you guys have wire and you kind of know how to use wire. So I thought, well, let me think of a way that I could use those three things together. And ta-da, this is what I came up with. So the way to do this is to start with some 20 gauge wire. What we're going to do here is we're going to start with 3 pieces of 20 gauge wire. I'm going to bend this back into a nice sharp angle. That's like a 90-degree angle right there. And I'm going to use my bail shaping pliers. Now, why am I using bail shaping pliers instead of round nose pliers? Well, I want a perfect circle, and to get a perfect circle with 3 pieces of wire, especially 20 gauge wire, is very difficult if you only have, if you have a round nose plier because they're graduated. So I am going to just wrap those 2 like so. And then I am going to trim off those extra wires. So I wrapped them 2 times around because it just gives a better, more consistent wrap, especially since you're going to have 3 kind of edges right there that you're going to flush cut off. And then I just use my chain nose plier to press the ends down and into those wires. All right, so the reason I use 3 is because I want 3 wires to work with. So I'm just going to spread those out like so. And it's a lot of wire. I understand, you know, that it just kind of is what it is. So you just spread those out so you can do something kind of fancy on there. Now, first thing I want to do is add one of those silicone sliders. So I'm using a big one. You don't have to use the biggest ones, smaller sizes fit. We have these in different sizes. We've got this one, which is going to be that kind of oval shape, which is pretty standard. We also have the round brass silicone bead sliders that have gold and silver if you want to go gold and silver. This is a gold kit. So I've got about 15 inches of wire to start with. So there's my little loop at the start, and I've put this little silicone slider over all 3. Now, as far as the length of the wire, I doubt seriously I'm going to use all 15 inches. But I just wanted to make sure I had plenty, and you guys know me, I'm kind of a little bit of a wire waster. So then what you're going to do is you're going to actually split all 3 wires apart like so, and just create kind of a trio of your wires. All right, so I got 3 wires, and you can see how I kind of split them apart just like that. Yes, that is much, much better. And then I'm just going to kind of organize this a little bit better like that. Now I'm going to take 3 nuggets, and so I'm going to start with the center wire right here, and I'm just going to pick a nugget. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go with a piece of malachite, and I'm going to put 2 different colors of the nuggets on either side. So I'll put malachite on one side, so I'm going to put a neon apatite on another side right here like so, and then the 3rd wire over here I am going to put a peridot because I thought those 3 colors just looked fun and fancy together. So those 3 guys all go down to the end. Let me see if I can show you this, what's kind of going on here. They go to the end and just kind of fit in right there. Now they're going to snuggle. That's just kind of what's going to happen. So I'm just going to pull all 3 wires back together again, and I'm going to go back to the end of my wire, and I'm going to grab another silicone slider, and I am going to slide it onto all 3 wires. Now, sometimes these silicone sliders can be a little bit difficult to get on 3 wires like that if they're all the same length. So what you can do is you can stagger them if you want to. You can have one that's a little bit longer and 2 that are a little bit shorter. They're not giving me any trouble today, but I just know that sometimes they do. So then you're just going to kind of snuggle your guys up. See how they kind of snuggle together like that? And then once you kind of get everybody in the place where you want them, you're going to kind of splay your wires out again like so that they're separated. See? Cute, it's gonna be cute, isn't it? I kind of like this, and it's kind of fun and organic. And so now the only thing I really do to kind of change this up is I put a different stone on in the middle every single time. So this time I'm going to go neon apatite in the center. I'm going to go malachite on one side, and then I'm going to switch it up here and add a little bit of the golden rutilated quartz on the other side. So it's, 2 of the same beads, one that's a little bit different just to add a little different color on. to the piece, if I can find the hole in that one, there it is, and just bring them down again. So they're just going to kind of snuggle down at the bottom. There's those little snugglers. And I always make sure before I move on that the 2 side beads are underneath and the middle bead is on top. That's just for consistency. As you're kind of going along, I think it looks a little bit better if you consistently do something. And so the only thing consistent about this is going to be that middle bead kind of sits on top and the 2 other beads the side beads sit on the bottom. So because this is so organic, in order to create just a little bit of continuity, that's just the one thing that I do. So then I'm going to pop another one of these sliders on here. So see how it just kind of goes right on the end, and then just pull that slider down towards your beads and push them up to that little slot right there. And so it just kind of creates like these little, I guess, almost marquee shaped sections with your beads, and you can snuggle that up just a little bit longer or a little bit closer. And then what kind of keeps it in place for the next segment is just to take your wires and just splay them back out again, like so. So see, kind of keeps that little marquee, and you can work it a little bit if you want to pull that down a little tighter. If you want to push those beads in a little bit more, you can kind of work the system as you will, and then just kind of start bending it into a bracelet shape. Pretty cool. I think it's a really good, somebody said that's a great use of the nuggets. I thought it was a good use of them too, because I'm really getting a chance to show off a lot of different colors of the stones, and I'm really getting to use a lot of the nuggets, and we do get a lot of nuggets in this set. So I need things to do with them. You know, I need to know things, and so this is a thing I now know to do. So the only other thing I do as I'm kind of going along is I make sure that I don't consistently put the same color in the center, or don't consistently put the same color on any side. So I just switched up to the malachite in the center, and the peridot is now on the side here. Let me kind of turn this here just a little bit so you can see what's going on. So now see what I've done here is I've got a peridot there and I have a peridot there. So now I'm not going to change that this time, but next segment I'm going to make sure I don't have a peridot on the edge. Does that make sense to everybody? Hopefully. Okay, so now I'm back to another slider. So I think this is a good use of our sliders as well, because I mean, we have a lot of those sliders in different shapes and sizes, and I need some new things, new ideas for them. So this was something that I kind of thought of that I thought would be kind of a cool idea with those. All right, so that's my next little marquee shape section, and then I'm just going to open up and open up just like this. So I'm also kind of starting now to shape this into a bangle. So I'll show you the one that I have already done right here. Now I actually have plans to add a little bit of chain here and a clasp on the other side. I just have not done that, but that's kind of where we're headed right here. I'm snuggling the nuggins. That's what I'm doing. That's right. It probably would work with memory wire. I haven't tried that yet, but I bet you you're right. All right, so now I told you I was not going to put peridot on the edge, so maybe I'll put peridot in the middle. What do you guys think? Shall we go with peridot in the middle? Peridot belongs in the middle, I think. You know, it should be a star. So we'll do that, and then on the edge, I will do, let's see, I've got a malachite, and then I've got, this segment kind of got a little wonky. I've got a malachite, and then I've got a neon, and so let's do a golden. Yeah, let's do a golden on this side this time. Golden, I love golden rutilated quartz. Did you know that in some cultures they actually consider golden rutilated quartz a lucky stone? The more rutiles, the luckier it is. Kind of neat, right? So I swear I'm seeing the hole, but I think I'm just seeing something shining off of the edge of the bead there. There we go. And then I'll put the neon on the other side. And if I'd been paying a little bit more attention, I think I probably would have put some of these kind of more roundy beads in the center as I did when I was doing my original. But I'm just going to show you guys kind of what's happening. Some of the spots where I didn't have kind of a larger bead, they snuggled up a little bit more than I wanted them to. I really want each one to kind of look kind of like that. But that's just kind of, I'm on, you know, display right now. So as you guys are working with these, try to work with a little bit roundier nugget, like a little fatter nugget, I guess, in the center, so that you get a little bit more of that marquee shape like I kind of did right there. So just kind of snuggle those guys up like this, and then I'm going to add these on. So this was just, like I said, something new and different. And I think these are pretty. And I think they'll stack up nicely. You could do them all the same color if you wanted to. You don't have to go multicolor. You know me, I'm always going multicolor, but you could go multicolor, you could go all the same color, you could go bi-color. You could do the same color on the outside, like you could do all neon apatite on the outside and all malachite on the inside. I just think there's a lot of different things that you could do with this. I'm gonna put this one in the center now because I think he's a good kind of roundish nugget. Call him a nugget, if you will. And then I'm going to put a malachite on this side. Look at me paying attention to what I'm doing. I don't even know what's happening around here. And then on the other side, I'm going to put I'll go peridot. I'm loving on peridot right now. Do you guys love August Birthstone peridot? I know black spinel is the alternate. I much prefer the color right now. I'm just kind of into the color of the peridot. I love black spinel. I mean, I'll always love it, but as a birthstone, I think I would rather have the color of peridot. All right, so there we go. See, oh, that one's perfect. That's exactly how I want them to look. See, the little roundy guy, and it gives it a really good marquee. That one looks fantastic. I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm loving it. Adding on one of these little guys, and pulling it down. So this is starting to shape up into my little bangle. Let's see where I am. So I've got about 2 more segments. If you guys can bear with me for 2 more segments, then I can show you how to finish it. Do you ever watch one of these shows? You're like, oh my God, is she ever gonna get to the end of the bracelet? It's our last little segment. And we're gonna put one last, I had exactly the right number of these little silicone sliders here. Just gonna pop that on like that, and that's gonna be the end, the finishing point of my bracelet. So you can kind of see, like I said, pretty organic. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna do the same thing on this side as you did on the other side. So we're going to take our chain nose plier, and I am going to give myself just a little bit of space here and bend this back into a 90-degree angle. So I've taken all the wires, all 3 of them. I know it seems like a lot, but really it's pretty good. It's not too bad. And just do the same thing you would if it was just 1 wire. Just wrap it around the bail shaping plier, and make sure you use a bail shaping plier because this can be very difficult to do with a round nose plier. Let's turn that a little bit smaller. And then just take your wires and wrap 1, 2 times, just like so. Just a nice, neat, thick wrap. And you can see you could just use a jump ring to attach that and add some chain for a little extender, or and then also just a lobster claw clasp I think would be the best thing to add to the other side. And all we really need to do now is press in our ends, and so I'm just pressing those down. Make sure anytime you're cutting wire like that, really take a little extra time to press down those ends. Nobody wants to feel that poking into their skin. So you want to make sure you take a little extra time with that. Now, I think if I made it 1 longer, I probably could have just made this an open bangle, but I really wanted to add a clasp to it. So that's what I will do a little bit later. But you see it's pretty flexible, and actually they do kind of just pop on there like that. They look pretty, right? I mean, yeah, you could wear them. Actually, I don't even know if I have to add another one. I'm pretty close to the right size right there to keep them open, but they're not like, I'm just going to show you, they're not like super stiff. So I think adding a clasp to it would be a smart idea. But pretty, fun, and easy. Ta-da! I like it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you try them out. I hope you get some nuggets and try it. I'll probably, if I bring these out in the next couple weeks, I'll probably demo this again on the air with a little bit less detail. But I'll show it again. So anyway, this has been fun. Have a fantastic afternoon, guys, and I'll see you again real soon.